Hey everybody, it's Laura Jane, and today on Fueled by Coffee and Grace, I thought I would share with you my testimony and why I love Jesus. We all have a past, right? And we have all done things in our past that we are not proud of. We have made mistakes, we have made bad decisions, and we have done some things that we really don't like to think about. I am no exception to that. I have made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've made a lot of really bad decisions in my life, and I have done things that even to this day, if for whatever reason it comes to mind, I feel shame and guilt, and I actually kind of go, no, don't think about that. But a lot of what led up to those behaviors stemmed from when I was really young. My story is a common one. I was raped when I was 16 years old. And back then, date rape did not exist. If you had sex on a date, it's because you wanted it. And that really messed with me because nobody believed I had been assaulted. And after that, I thought, well, if you're all going to call me a slut, I'm going to act like one. Not smart. Not smart at all. Then when I was 18, my mother had gotten into the Pentecostal movement, and she would drag me and my sisters to this church. And I was like, I don't know about this. We grew up Catholic, and the particular church that we went to, the priest was, very unpriestly like. He was just, from what I remember, we're talking like 45 years ago. He just seemed like he knew everything, and how dare you question him type of thing. Anyway, my mom started dragging us to all these different churches, and then we started going to this like prayer meeting with my aunt, and my mom would drag us to all that, and I remember sitting there going, this is a colossal waste of my time. Well, one day she drags me to a home Bible study, and I was very angry at my mother for a lot of years. My mom, she did the best that she could with the tools that she had available to her, but she wasn't a good mother back then. She was, but she wasn't. And so she drags me to this thing, and I remember sitting there, and I did not want to be there. I was, 18 years old, and at 18 years old, I wanted to be anywhere except in some stranger's house listening to them talk about the Bible. And I remember I was sitting there, and this guy suddenly, who was leading it, looks at me, and he says, why do you hate your mother so much? And I'm like, what? I don't hate my mother. And he goes, you're sitting there, and I can feel the hate coming off of you, and you are glaring at her. Didn't realize I was doing that. I thought I was being pretty stealthy. And I just was like, I didn't know what to say. And he started asking me more questions, and finally I was just like, yes, I hate you. I hate that you drag us to all these things. I hate that you moved us to here. I word vomited all this anger. And she's looking at me with eyes as big as a deer going, whoa, And as I'm saying all these terrible things, I'm feeling really bad, and I'm upset, and then this man says, you love your mother, don't you? I said, I do. I love her so much, but I'm so angry. And he started telling me about Jesus. And he said that, if I accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior, all my sins would be forgiven. And I was like, oh, all of them? He's like, yeah. I went, okay, well, let's do this thing. And so I said the sinner's prayer. And I remember saying it. I felt like this warm feeling starting at the top of my head and just kind of work its way down, kind of like having warm water poured over you. And I suddenly felt lighter, and I wasn't upset anymore. And I can't explain it, but everything seemed to be in like high definition Technicolor. Everything looked different. When we were leaving, I went outside and I could see all the stars and the different shades of it with the lights and the trees and the grass, and the air smelled so beautiful. It was an incredible feeling. And I was excited, and I started telling people about Jesus. And of course, I'm just like, do you know Jesus can be your Lord and Savior? He forgave my sins. I'm so happy. And I would get this deer in a headlight look like, okay, that's good for you. And, and I tried to go to church, and I would read the Bible. And then we got involved in this Pentecostal church where I felt like everything I did was a sin. I wanted to listen to secular music. It was the 80s, for crying out loud. I liked Wham. I liked, the Eurythmics. I liked Bon Jovi. And I was told that's the devil's music. And, when they were very much into a lot of rebuking. And, I felt like crap. I felt like it didn't matter what I did. I was going to screw up. I'm a sinner, and, fire and brimstone. And I was like, I'm just going to live my life. I believe in God. I love God. But I'm just going to live my life. And I would justify my decisions. And, growing up with, having been sexually assaulted, and there was, some neglect and emotional abuse, which led me into getting into relationships with abusive men, and married one. And I was broken. I was emotionally broken and didn't know it. And I tried to fill that emptiness with I tried to fill the emptiness by being in a relationship, because I thought if I was in a relationship, everything would be okay. Yeah, that isn't true. That isn't what happened. All that stuff. So anyway, I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. That should probably be enough for today, but I will be back again. And thank you for taking time to enjoy your coffee with me and listen to me blather on. And I will see you again soon.